Yo, what is going on, guys? I hope everyone's having a fantastic day. So I want to go over a few things. Don't want to make this video too long. Some of this video is actually from a video I was supposed to come out last night, but because of some of the news that came out yesterday with Kevin Byard, I had to scrap that video and make a new one for today. So a lot to talk about with Kevin Byard and his numbers, what's going on with him and how much he costs against the cap, all that information and other statistics as well that I think are very important. I want to go over a few things from the Eagles-Miami game on Sunday night. Could the Eagles actually double down and maybe look for another move to make before the trade deadline? Yeah, I mean, if there's always one move, there could be another move, whether it's depth, whether it's something small, or maybe something for another position that would be very interesting. So let's get into it.
Because I've seen enough horror movies to know any weirdo wearing a mask is never friendly.
Yo, what is going on, guys? I hope everyone's having a fantastic day today. So I want to go over some more news for the Philadelphia Eagles. A couple things definitely worth noting here regarding Kevin Byard, obviously. It was a really big signing that we really didn't expect it the day after we just played our game against Miami on Sunday night. The players are kind of already talking to each other on Twitter. It's nice that they're, Slay's going back and forth with Kevin Byard, says, got to get better. Let's work. And then, Kevin Byard says, always admired your game from afar. Now we teammates. Let's go win it all this year. So the Titans did the right thing by getting rid of Kevin Byard, get him to the Philadelphia Eagles to contend for a championship. And it seems like they're ready to get this done. So it was really nice to see that. I know, Bradley Roby, was like, we got Kevin Byard. Like, he was excited. A lot of players were very excited about it from the roster, which is pretty good. So news on the Kevin Byard situation with the contract. Now, back in July, it looks like we saw that they gave him more guaranteed money up front, less than the cap number a little bit. So they paid $7 million out of the $11 million in compensation, which we played already 7 games so far this year. So the cap number for Kevin, sorry, I have the hiccups right now. So Kevin Byard's cap hit for the year is only literally over $2 million. That is it for a 1-year rental in Kevin Byard. Literally $2 million, a little bit over that. That's insane. I mean, you're getting a lot out of this guy. You're getting leadership. You have a guy that really covers well on the back end. Hasn't really got too many picks of recent, but, the Titans' offense is not, sustaining drives, so the defense is going to be gassed, and how are you going to get turnovers when your offense can't score points and your defense isn't rested at times? So for a cap number like this into this year, it's beyond Howie Roseman. I don't know how he does it, but it's just absolutely amazing what he's done and is really smart. And I'm surprised we're even negotiating with the Titans again after, I know these are two different GMs, because really the GM that traded us AJ Brown was fired, I think, right after AJ Brown embarrassed the Titans on national television. You know what I mean? Or at least for the game that was shown last year. So, very cheap and, big production that we're going to be looking for. Kevin Byard on the back end could tackle very well, is a pick magnet, really can get his hands on the football, and doesn't let very smart player on the back end, but doesn't let the big play go over him, which is good. So for what we're getting from him production wise, and really looking, Howie Roseman wants to win a Super Bowl. I mean, obviously this move tells you that. Obviously we already knew this, but to get a player of this caliber, and I didn't think it was going to happen the day after our game, which is kind of insane. So nice to have Kevin Byard in the building. And I think to go over something else too, or his snaps from this season. What has he done? What, you're getting a very versatile player here. He's played pretty much in the slot corner position 87 times, free safety 171, and box safety 129. So you have that, hybrid player, which I don't think he's going to move anywhere else, unless Reed and Sidney, come back, right? And, God forbid if Bradley Roby gets injured again or something, you can always move a player and still, I think could do pretty well with Sidney and Reed Blankenship at the safety spot. So it's always a good thing. Sidney just came back from injury. Reed Blankenship, I don't know if he's going to play this week. Maybe it'll take another week for him to come back. We'll see. But even the start against Washington this week with Byard and Sidney Brown, I'm perfectly fine with that. Terrell Edmunds is shipped to the Titans, which I can't believe that even happened either. Got rid of our worst safety on the field. And Howie Roseman, I guess, just had enough of him the whole entire season. So, so you have a player, you actually have a hybrid player right now, but I think they're strictly going to keep him at safety. I don't think he'll ever move around unless, like I said, I thought Josiah Scott actually played really well at the nickel spot against Miami. I thought he played really good, surprisingly. But like I said, that was a quick fix move for the Eagles because, he's had Josiah Scott has had a lot of starting experience here, knows the players really well. And it was a nice quick fix signing for the Eagles. Bradley Roby needs to come back. He's week to week with the shoulder and really has to stay healthy. Still, we're about hitting the midpoint of the season on the schedule at least. And, health is the number one thing. I'm praying that we, kind of keep that list as short as possible every single week. And I think that's what's going to make a big difference here. Now we talk about the Philadelphia Eagles and if they can make another move. And I understand, Joe, seriously, is this move not good enough for you? No, it's not. That's not the thing. It's Howie Roseman at the end of the day. Would he go after a Brian Burns? Would he, what's going to happen? So there's been some rumors coming out, especially with the Tennessee Titans. If the Eagles deal with the Titans again, looking like a lot more players from that team could be on the move as of right now. Derrick Henry, especially since I think getting rid of Kevin Byard was a start of a sign that the Titans are going to rebuild. I mean, it's going to happen. They have two quarterbacks that can't play. They have a horrible offensive line. They're literally focusing their offense on a running back at 29 years old in Derrick Henry that is going to get 20-plus snaps a game. It's just, 20-plus carries. It's way too much. They have to trade Derrick Henry when he has value. I mean, because if they wait too long and he starts dipping or he has a big injury or something like that, his value is going to diminish and they won't be able to trade him. And I understand Titan fans are holding it to the heart, holding Derrick Henry close to their heart right now. He's not going to be there forever. I think he will be a move, whether it's the trade. I don't know if it'll be the trade deadline, but it'll definitely be maybe at the end of this year, going into next year. Who knows what's going to happen? Because this really connects to the Eagles and Rashad Penny and, Kenneth Gainwell, for me at least, as a second running back in this rotation. There's a lot of questions going to the running backs with the red zone. I understand we have some issues right now. They're not using, Rashad Penny. It's a complete circle every week. We're talking about the same thing every single week. And I feel like you're really missing that bruiser back to really be in there. With Jalen Hurts in the red zone, which is very crucial. I understand you have Julio Jones. You're trying to get more targets out there, but, the run game is really important. It takes a lot more stress off of Jalen Hurts at the end of the day, and a lot more could go on. So, like I said, there are other players available, not just from the Titans, but just saying in general, if the Eagles maybe want to upgrade, maybe not, maybe just depth. Maybe they want to pry maybe a right tackle off another roster, maybe a practice squad guy, like something small. Maybe I don't think it's going to be a big move, but you never know what could happen. You still got another week to go till the trade deadline is over with, and the Eagles will then we can't make any more moves. So going to be really interesting. To go into the Miami game from the other day, from the other night, couple nights ago, Eli Ricks, the cornerback room is so good right now. I mean, look, I don't like the way they play press at certain times. I thought Desai has been so good the past 3 weeks. Okay, really, I think that the adjustments have been perfect. I don't understand why when you have Bradbury up playing press, versus Miami, but when you're playing press, you don't get your hands on, which is really weird. So how is the safety going to help? How is the safety even going to have time? Because you're barely even slowing down. All you're doing is playing press, but you're still mirroring the receiver, and you're not getting your hands on just a little bit to kind of disrupt his route. Eli Ricks, on the other hand, whether it was in the nickel or on the outside, Eli Ricks did a fantastic job against Tyreek Hill. Got disruptive. He put his hands on Tyreek Hill, kind of got him off of his route and had a couple deflections because of it. We have something here with Eli Ricks. There's no doubt about it. There is something there with Eli Ricks, and I'm very excited to see the future because we have some two aging corners right now. I'm not saying Bradbury's old. I'm not saying, Slay is getting up there in age, and, there's maybe fans questioning, that can he keep up with these, these young stud at receiver anymore? The 3rd and 18 maybe pissed a lot of people off, really. But, whether it's 2 to 3 years, you're going to be losing two of your starting outside corners, and the Eagles are going to have to go look through, change the offseason program, start cross-training some guys, and see what you have. Eli Ricks is the more capable. That could be really a legit number 2 for this team. I'm not going to say a number 1. I'm going to say close to a number 2 right now because he is flashing so much, and I know something is there with him. Because, to cover Tyreek Hill, I mean, look what he did in preseason this past year. Okay, between the pick 6 and the Ravens, the couple deflections he had in that game, and then really facing Michael Pittman and Alec Pierce in the Colts game, the last preseason game of the offseason, it was fantastic. And he just, every time he gets an opportunity, he just shows out and does a great job. I think there's a really high future for him here. How this kid went undrafted, I have no idea. I'm still going to question why other teams didn't take a chance on him, but he is a stud. And I can't wait to see more of what Eli Ricks is going to do in the future. Plus, you have that Rodgers guy that had the gambling stuff going on. He's, that was the Colts guy that ended up gambling. He's going to be coming back, and he's another guy that was ranked pretty high in PFF last year. I'm not really a big fan of PFF, but was ranked pretty high last year. And you're going to have a lot of corners at camp next year. And this really goes into next offseason, all that stuff. So, it's nice that if the Eagles ever had an injury, Eli Ricks, I would pick Eli Ricks over Josh Jobe in a half a second. There's no doubt, whether it's the outside or the inside. And be honest with you, like Eli Ricks could be your next nickel corner. I think Avonte Max isn't going to, Avonte Max on the last year of his contract next year, he's got a $10 million cap hit. The Eagles are not extending Avonte Max. He's been hurt 4 times in 2 years. He got hurt two times last year. And if we weren't in the Super Bowl or we weren't even in the playoffs, he wouldn't have even returned a second time. Okay. And hurt twice, the foot, the toe. It's always something with Avonte Maddox. And I think he's so underrated. But are the Eagles, if the Eagles keep Maddox next year and for some reason are gonna stick with the $10 million cap hit, which I highly doubt, they have to get a capable backup. Because now you have Zech McPherson that's going to be coming off of ACL or Achilles. Forgot what the injury was. An injury, a season-ending injury like that. So you got 2 guys at that nickel spot right now, your starter and your backup that are hurt with injuries that are going to be out the rest of the year. And capable-wise for Eli Ricks could get in that spot and do some good things. So I'm loving it, man. I love to see young talent. And for a guy that's undrafted, that he could just grow as a player, and climb up that roster again, you know what I mean? Like, because he really had to start from the bottom. He was one of the best cornerbacks, didn't give up a touchdown from Alabama last year, and, really had to pry himself and claw up this roster and really show himself. Glad he made the roster, and glad the Eagles, really knew that they couldn't let this guy go. And he could be, at least going into next year, at least into next year, I feel like you could have your starting nickel corner with Eli Ricks. I think they give him more of a chance and give him opportunity. And who knows, he might be the next one that shows out for the Eagles. So got to keep an eye on this for the rest of the year, especially if there are injuries later on. Ricks can go right in and play, which is a great thing. Has flashed way too much for me to say that this guy is a bust. I'm sorry, but we still got to see. But I don't want to go over the line. I don't like to go too crazy, but a lot of good things to talk about. Nolan Smith, getting his first sack against Miami was great. He came in for a play and then he went to the sideline. Derek Barnett still has 2 tackles for the season. I didn't see Derek Barnett play that much in this game at all on Sunday. And with Nolan Smith, he just needs more of an opportunity. Desai had like a big excuse a few weeks ago that, there's only so many snaps so many guys can get. And, we'll try to get Nolan Smith on some packages or, it's just an excuse at this point. And to be honest, it's your first round pick. Like if Nolan Smith was a 4th round pick or something like that, a 3rd rounder, like I understand that. But as a first round pick, the man has got to play. I mean, he got that sack so easily. This guy wears no gloves. This guy likes to manhandle people with his hands. I mean, I'm not even kidding. His bend is so good. What's going to take Nolan Smith so far is he's definitely going to add some more weight. And especially he's definitely going to add some more weight as his years go on with the Eagles. But I think the most important thing is he's got such a great bend and so much. I mean, it's really his attributes of what he could do on the edge, whether it's because I think he could be in coverage, and I know that Sean Desai I think the defense has listed Nolan Smith as a Sam linebacker, whatever. I mean, they've listed him as that, but they really haven't put him in that position too much this year. But I think with more time under his belt, but he needs more snaps. It's just not enough. It's not enough. It's not enough. He's averaging like 6-7 snaps a game. I mean, Derek Barnett wanted a trade earlier, before the season started. And, if that's the case, he's got 2 tackles for the year. Barnett, I've been done with Barnett really since like 2 years after, really the year after his rookie year. I mean, really, I've been kind of done with him being injured all the time. I mean, he's not being stupid. He's not causing us. He's not killing drives for us. So I get it. But Nolan Smith's technique is going to get him really far. Adds a little bit more weight. I think he can get a few sacks right now if he's playing in a full rotation. Move him up the depth chart. It really doesn't hurt too much to ask for that. So that's the news on Nolan Smith and what I kind of thought about that. And lastly, I'm not going to go over too much because I want to get more information first. This video is long enough right now. Jalen Hurts and his injury, what's been going on. We'll go into that in the next video because I want to wait another day until I get some more information. I've already kind of figured out some things, but I don't want to put the wrong news out right now on the Jalen Hurts situation and where things could affect Jalen Hurts right now with this injury that he has and a lot of stuff going on. So other than that, that's pretty much it. I hope everybody is happy about the Kevin Byard trade. Let me know what you guys think about Eli Ricks, Nolan Smith, and, could the Eagles go after another prospect? We'll find out. We'll see. So you guys have a great day. I'll see you guys on the next one. Shakes up, follow, peace out, guys. Peace.